I've been looking at the weather forecast, and for the next couple of weeks, they're forecasting a succession of storms. It's supposed to be the snowiest period in the past few years at home where I live. And I'm not there right now. This is the big island of Hawaii. I've come back for a second year. There are much more auspicious circumstances than last year. And to escape exactly what I just described in part. Yeah, this place is pretty magical. A lot of ocean, a lot of lava, a lot of rocks, and sun. It was a couple nights before I left to come here. It was minus 14 and about 80 degrees. And there's so much to see here that's just so remarkable. Extraordinary. Yeah, so I don't quite understand it. After being here last February, I bought one t-shirt while I was here, and I wore it a couple months later, and someone I know stopped me and said, "Hey, I know the artist who designed that t-shirt." The woman who stopped me had lived here on the Big Island for a couple of years. And then I took a voice workshop, a couple of weeks later with a woman who's traveling through, who bases herself in this area of Hawaii where I am. And it continues on from there. Around New Year's Eve, I finally caught up with someone I've been meaning to catch up with for months, and a bunch of misconnections. And it turns out that when I first talked to her at the end of December, she was headed to this very place for a week and a half in January, and by that time I already had this trip planned. I don't know. I don't get it. My first trip was as haphazard and unplanned here as possible. I basically agreed at the last moment to come spend some time with a woman I was dating here at the time, after never having ever thought about visiting Hawaii. And it was hard, and it was difficult. And of course, being here in this place was extraordinary. Of course, the dating situation did not last, obviously. But here I am, back again for 2 weeks, and escaping the Vermont winter. So many different feelings about being here. Awe, wonder, amazement, disbelief. This is a place of escape, except for those who actually live here and try to make a living. So many people come here seeking to make their own niche on the periphery of industrial society. Some are successful, and a lot aren't. And I don't really need to do that. At least I have my own version of that back home in northern New England. But wow, I'm here by myself. And I don't know, I usually post when I'm hiking on a trail somewhere, and I don't know if I'm going to be doing much hiking. I've just been hanging out, watching the spectacular scenery in the ocean here, snorkeling. I'm kind of staying in a glamping place. I've just basically been outside almost the whole time. I have an outdoor kitchen I can use, and it's been amazing and spectacular, and with some difficulties too. I mean, I don't know, I'm going to too many of them right now, but being here by myself is kind of odd in a way. It's just, we're social beings, and I'm kind of out here on my own for the next for 2 weeks, I guess. I've met one or two people I've talked to a little bit, and I know 2 people on the island I'll be visiting with briefly, but just contemplating life and my place in it, and wondering if this place can facilitate whatever process I'm going through. Maybe I'm not going through any process at all. I just need to be here. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm going to be here another week, so I'll probably post some more about things that I see that I feel like are worth talking about. So, yeah. And this will probably continue. Yeah, this, by the way, what you're looking at is the coastline on the southeastern portion of the Big Island, Puna District. This is Mackenzie State Recreation Area along the Red Road. It's just a wild, wild place. Remarkable for how undeveloped it is. And undeveloped mostly because of the fact that any kind of settlement or development here that gets built is at risk of being overrun by volcanic eruptions, which every couple of decades you might get a lava flow through your place, and that destroys everything, and that's a disincentive for expensive investments in things like resorts and infrastructure. So it's an amazing place, kind of on the edge, like so many other people, like myself. A place on the edge draws people on the edge. This island, so much of it, completely a creation of volcanic forces. Everything's lava, except for the space underneath the lava. This is an old lava tube where on some eruption probably centuries ago, lava flowed down here, surface cooled, and the lava continued flowing underneath. And when it stopped flowing, it left this tube. And these things are all over the place. Kind of like the jungle meeting the sea. I've just kind of walked my way into this unexpectedly amazing place. I think I'm out of the state park, but this is Poke Pulumaka or something like that. There's a sign, and people somehow drive back here, but it's obvious that there's a well-tended coconut grove here, and people hang out and just, God. I'm just gasping in awe and wonder at this place. So, to get into Poke Pulumaka, is to drive through this tidal pool. I don't know what else to call it. It's just a low-lying puddle of water. It's salty. It's just about at the same elevation as sea level, so it's obviously getting water from the tides and everything to come in here. Wow. This is just like extraordinary. Can't find enough superlatives for this. This is just nothing more to do than to really quiet oneself and just be here and just not appreciate and appreciate it for what it is, and really be here and not be somewhere else in your head thinking about this and that and the other thing. Because whenever we think about this, that, and the other thing, all sorts of trouble arises. And I think that's part of what the essence of the message that I try to get across with these videos that so few of you watch. But if it reaches 1, 2 of you maybe, yeah, it's all worth it, right? Okay, I'll say a couple of things that are on. I'll say a couple of things that have been on my mind. This is my 7th day here on the island, or 8th day. And I'm just starting to feel grounded and kind of settled. And I was completely ungrounded in the first 2 days, just like jet lag, out of sorts, appreciating where I was, yet not really feeling like all of me was here. Now, I don't know if that kind of phenomenon is unique to me, where you travel to some faraway exotic place and you find out that you're just kind of ungrounded and unsettled for like a considerable period of time after you arrive. You know, I'm thinking about all these retreats that people offer in Costa Rica or Hawaii, and you fly off to some exotic destination, doing your part for climate change, as I am doing right now, flying out here from New England. You know, to go to an event, a retreat, the point of which is to kind of ground and settle yourself in your own being, and the very act of getting there is unsettling. Yeah, the hook, of course, is the exotic location, the warmth. I get it. That hook is exactly why I'm here, but I'm kind of on my own personal retreat, not really an organized retreat. But I don't know, this doesn't, for me, it wouldn't be very effective. Let's just put it that way. I just kind of need to be here doing my own thing for a week and finally settle into the place. Yeah, just a couple observations, notes, etc., etc. This trip is going to be known as the journey of many sunrises. This is day 10. Holy mackerel. Life on the edge, life on the lava flow. This is the 1990 lava flow that destroyed the little town of Kalpana. And yeah, people are slowly rebuilding it. It doesn't look like anything that you'd expect a town to look like in Hawaii. It's houses of various types, some ramshackle, some more elaborate, built out here in the moonscape of the lava flow. It's pretty amazing. And life on the edge, settling here to risk it all when another such event could come through here. In 1990, that was 35 years ago, and there's really not much growing out here. even after 35 years, only mostly things that people have planted, a couple of palm trees, breadfruit trees, whatever. Just remarkable being out here. The forces of creation and destruction that constitute this big island. This is the 8th day that I've been here, and my state of mind is just so dramatically different than what it was for the first 2, 3, even 4 days. Today it's like I'm on this intensive meditation retreat. I just feel grounded and settled and undistracted, and just being here and not really obsessing about much, or not really processing a whole lot. It's just extraordinary. And yeah, that's what, of course, this channel is all about. You can find dozens, hundreds of videos of everything to see and do in Hawaii when you're on the big island of Hawaii. And in 3 days or less, or 4 days or less, and it's just like, no thank you. I've been here on the southeast coast, the Puna district, for 8 days, and I've got 2 more nights here, and then I am going to be doing something a little different. I'm going to be moving for the last 4 nights up to the north tip of the island, and getting a sense for what that has to offer. But it's just been amazing here, and I'm actually, now that I'm really settled in and feeling grounded, I'm really reluctant to leave. But leave I will. Hiking down into the Pololu Valley, here in the north side of the islands. Here on the north side of the islands, there are some amazing valleys. This is the most accessible, and this may be the only one that's still accessible to foot traffic. Now that I think about it, but yeah, just a short hike for this trip, which is the last day, full day that I'm here on the islands, and it's been pretty magical in a way, especially the first 11 days down on the Puna coast, hanging out mostly by the ocean, and it's just really something else. The past couple of days I spent up here on the north tip, 2 of which are chasing whales in one way or another. One day kayaking 3 miles off of the coast with someone I know who lives on the island, and getting to within about 50 meters of a whale surfacing, and seeing a couple of breach off in the not too distant waters. It was once in a lifetime experience. We were kayaking way farther out than I would have felt safe doing by myself, but the person I was with kind of been in the area and felt like, or knew that was a distance that was okay to go on a calm day in kayaks, and certainly was a way of getting some physical exercise in as well. Amazing. So I also had an opportunity to visit with another person I knew. I reconnected after 30 years, who's now connected with a whale research organization. I spent yesterday on top of a bluff documenting, or watching humpback whale numbers being documented as part of a systematic research effort. And I've been extended invitation to use a guest apartment in that area of the island, as long as it's not being used by other researchers, which is like, wow. So of course my mind comes back to thinking about subsequent visits, coming here again, probably not till next year. What circumstances can I conjure up that could make this possible, or even a longer stay possible, avoiding winter? I just got a picture from a friend of mine back home in northern New England. Over 2 feet of snow on the roof of my house needs to be raked off. A whole bunch of that stuff needs attending to back into the cold ice box. And being here in the warmth is just surreal, and I've kind of gotten used to it. So I'm going to have to get unused to it in the immediate foreseeable future once again. Yeah. Man, this place is too much. I'm just sitting here with my binoculars looking out at the horizon. I thought I saw a spouting whale, and I raised my binoculars up, and a couple seconds later they're breaching out of the water. I saw 3, I think, just jump out of the water. They're probably about a mile offshore. Too much. Be really close up so you can hear me and see me at the same time. Hearing me over the surf, but I've lost count how many times I've seen whales breach out here. And having heard them call to each other while snorkeling under the water in Kihana Beach, and having experienced that, it's not too far-fetched to imagine that they have something that is could be called, certainly dialects. There's been research that has documented different whale dialects and how they communicate with one another, but certainly as well go so far as to say culture, society, whatever the things that we think that we humans have exclusive domain under or over. We have our cultures, and we think that our cultures and society is the be-all and end-all and the pinnacle of evolution. And I don't know if pinnacle is the right word. I think sophisticated is a better word. It's like a sophistication that is probably unparalleled, but pinnacle, I think we've got a long ways to go before we could describe ourselves as the pinnacle of evolution. We don't deserve that. And I think our experience in the world is clearly bearing that out right now.